Oh god, please no! Mario Kart Tour is finally getting a full release next month on September 25th. This little thing was announced all the way back at the start of last year, and some of us were lucky enough to play the beta back in May. So you know what, before we dive into the trailer, let's go over the tracks that were included in the beta. Now we were not allowed to post any footage of Mario Kart Tour during the beta, so all the footage here comes from previous Mario Kart games. From the Super Nintendo we had Mario Circuit 1, Choco Island 2, and Rainbow Road. From the N64 we had Koopa Troopa Beach, and the Calamari Desert. The GBA was Lonely with Just Bowser's Castle 1, the GameCube is Alone 2 with Dino Dino Jungle, and the DS, which stands for Desperately Solo, is of course alone as well with Luigi's Mansion. The 3DS though was having a bit of a party. There's Toad Circuit, Mario Circuit, Daisy Hills, Shy Guy Bazaar, and Rock Mountain. Now a lot of the assets in this game seem directly pulled from Mario Kart 7, so it's not a big surprise to see so many tracks come back. But of course the brand new trailer showed some of these tracks in action, so let's take a look. So the only tracks that were in the beta but don't appear in the trailer were Luigi's Mansion, Choco Island, and the Calamari Desert. And of course there's the most important track that wasn't in the beta but is in the trailer, Waluigi Pinball. It's good to have you back. Oh yeah, and I suppose DK Pass as well. And Cheap Cheap Lagoon. Now you may have noticed something about the beta. There are no new tracks. Every single track came from a previous Mario Kart game. Now some tracks are being remade in this detail for the very first time. Choco Island 2 for instance was remade, but only in Mario Kart DS. But even the Mario Kart 7 tracks aren't pulled directly from the game. I mean, look at these trees, they're a very different asset. But of course, the trailer revealed 3 brand new tracks made from the ground up. And now we know why it's called Mario Kart Tour, because it's touring us around the world. The 3 tracks are based on America, France, and Japan. Interestingly, we can see a representation of them in the promo art, in addition to a few more. If Big Ben's any indication, a UK track's on the way too. There may also be an Egyptian track, although Mario Kart has covered this theme before in Dry Desert. And it doesn't seem like you can play these tracks all the time. The press release states, City Courses, special in-game event courses inspired by real-world locations. These will be available during specific time periods at launch and beyond. So I guess consider them like stages during Splatfests. Anyway, let's dive into the new tracks. Let's start off with the track themed after America, more specifically New York in Times Square. Now here's a question, is this New York or is this New Donk City? Well, while it makes sense for it to be New Donk, this right here is the Statue of Liberty, not a parody. The same is true for all the other tracks. These aren't parodies of the countries, they're actual representations. So I'm pretty confident in saying that this is meant to be New York. But of course, it's been taken over by Mario. Just like the real Times Square, this track is packed to the brim with advertisements. One of the most striking being a recreation of 25 meters from Donkey Kong. We also see that Mario has ventured into road services, where instead of AAA we have MAA. Very creative, Mario. Across the street there's Mushroom Piston, a car joke, Mario, Bowser and Peach are starring in a Broadway musical, as is The Banana Peel starring in Banana Boy. Good for him to finally slip into show business. Donkey Kong's taking on the role of a daredevil with the Burning DK. Here's Shy Guy Metal since 1987, not the release of Mario 2, but rather Doki Doki Panic, where of course he debuted. Roy even seems to have his own record company with Roy's Smooth Sounds. He's not alone though, his brother Lemmy also has a business. Everyone in the Mario universe is doing pretty well for themselves. Heck, Toad's got a car insurance company, and Peach and Daisy have a royal patisserie. And one thing I really love is Galaxy Air makes an appearance. There's a Galaxy Air retail store right here, and a bus later on features the logo. Of course, Galaxy Air featured in Sunshine Airport in Mario Kart 8. Our second track takes place in Japan in the city of Tokyo. Now out of the 3 tracks, this takes more elements from the city than any other. The majority of the race takes place on the Rainbow Bridge, but you'll also notice the Tokyo Tower in the background, and a very clear representation of Sensoji. And with all the callbacks to Galaxy Air, we have to wonder who that plane belongs to. It's a bit too far to see from here, but perhaps the plane's on its way to Sunshine Airport. There aren't quite as many references in this track, but in the background you'll see Toads, Yoshi, and Shy Guy checking out the race. And hey, isn't that the scooter from Mario Odyssey? Anyway, moving on to Paris in France, and this one looks beautiful. Of course, Paris prominently features the Eiffel Tower, where you fly right over the Trocadero fountains right in front of it. but you'll also travel to the Arc de Triomphe. This is a shortcut. You just need a way to break through the piranha plants, like a mushroom or some kind of offensive item. And it looks like Toad, Yoshi and Shy Guy are also native to France. Of course, it's not just about the tracks though, it's also about the characters. The trailer features Mario, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Toad, Toadette, Koopa Trooper, Peach, Bowser, Daisy, Rosalina, King Boo, Waluigi, Baby Peach, Wendy, Shy Guy, Dry Bones, Roy, Baby Luigi, Wario, Bowser Jr., Iggy, Diddy Kong, Baby Rosalina, Dry Bowser, and Ludwig. Not shown but were in the beta are Baby Mario, Baby Daisy, Lemmy, Morton, Larry, and the fan favourite Metal Mario. No Pink Gold Peach yet? So Diddy Kong's playable for the first time since Mario Kart Wii, and there is a gacha approach to obtaining characters, so I suppose the roster does have to be desirable. But where's Funky Kong? We'll touch on the gacha a bit more in a bit, but you may have also noticed some characters have outfits. Mario's seen wearing a hakama, and then Peach immediately goes by in a kimono. Interestingly, this is a different kimono to the one featured in Odyssey. There are no fire flowers, just real flowers. You'll also notice both characters are in a brand new kart. Speaking of Odyssey though, we do see Mario wearing a new Donk Band outfit. He's even doing a Sonic Adventure pose. And hey, that's a new Donk City taxi. And look, Shy Guy's become a chef, and he seems to be driving a macaroon? So it seems a lot of characters are going to feature brand new outfits. They're not even pulling them all from Odyssey, as this Hakama never appeared in that game. And yeah, that's Peachette. But is it a costume for Peach, or a costume for Toadette? Or is she her own character? This thing asks too many questions. Anyway, she's driving the Royale for Mario Kart DS. This is not a brand new kart. In case you didn't hear impressions from the beta, Mario Kart Tour is surprisingly loyal to a core Mario Kart game. You're always accelerating, so all you have to do is steer and use items. You don't have all the characters at the start and instead obtain them with a gacha system. Characters are filtered into common, rare, and super rare. The higher the stats, the faster they go and the better items they get. We'll see if that gets broken. Most of the items are as you would expect, but you'll also notice the Mega Mushrooms return from Mario Kart Wii. You can also get 3 items at once, which means you can of course get 3 bullet bills. Again, we'll see how broken that gets. Each character also has a special item, somewhat similar to what we saw in Double Dash. A lot of common characters would get things like 3 green shells or 3 mushrooms. But Bowser, for instance, a rare character, gets a giant Bowser shell, and another rare character, being Yoshi, gets a Yoshi egg. Those were the 2 showcased in the trailer, but we wouldn't be at all surprised to see even more special items. You'll also play across reverse versions of tracks which differ slightly from the mirrored versions. I mean, you literally turn around and you're driving in reverse. And then there's single player challenges like Gooba Bowling. Mario Kart Tour is shaping up to be a really interesting package. There's elements and characters here that I'd love to see in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but we'll see if the gacha elements or smartphone limitations hinder this when it comes to launch. Either way, Waluigi Pinball is back, and Diddy Kong is back. That can only be a good thing. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, then let us know down below. And of course, be sure to subscribe to GameXplain and ring that bell for a lot more on Mario Kart Tour, and other things gaming too. Until next time, bye!